Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and early. It's 6 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. As you can tell, I was just in the middle of my workout. I did not plan on making this video, but I feel very strongly on this. I got to stop watching videos on the TV while I'm in the middle of working out. As I was working out, I came across a YouTube short featuring a woman. I think she's called Veronica Farish. Now, let me just say this first of all. I have nothing against this woman. I don't know who she is. I don't know what her content is about. And even this short video, I don't know if the other things she's saying are factual or true or whatever. But there's one thing that she says at the beginning that I take exception to, that I have a very big problem with. All right, I'll have the link down below. It's a YouTube short. Like I said, I'm not beating up on this woman, but as you guys know, I'll say it once again, I've been clean and sober for over 16 years, since October 23rd, 2006. Before that, I spent over 2.5 decades using all these substances. You name it, I used it. I got it on my hands, in my mouth, in my ears, all over me. And there's a reason I'm saying that. All right. The reason I have a problem with this lady is because what I believe she's saying is it's just put in there to scare people. That is, it's not really true. I think she knows it's true and not true. I've told you guys before, unfortunately back then I was a lying, manipulating SOB. And I could usually spot when people aren't being 100% honest, because I used to do it so often. I know what I was thinking. I know what it looked like when I did this. And I think she's not being completely truthful. The part of the video I'm talking about is the video opens up and she's doing something good. She's trying to help other women out by warning them to be aware in parking lots. And that's great. I agree with that. I have no problem with that. That's not what this is about. She talks about money on the ground, to be aware of their surroundings, not to be on the phone. The part I have a problem with, she starts the video off with this. There's a piece of paper folded up in her car door handle. And she says, if you see this, if you walk up to this, don't touch it no matter what you do. It's a setup. People do this, so there might be something on it. It's a setup. She's not very specific. She says there might be drugs on it. And then she says this. She says, there's a story, or she says there's somebody she knows, but she's saying this kind of factually, that she knows, she read this story, a report, this truthful thing, that some woman touched this and her hands got numb. Yeah, I have a problem with this. She's being dishonest. She's being disingenuous right here. And the links will be all down below to prove it. The reason I have a problem with this is because I feel that when people do this, when people use these fear tactics, they're using it for other reasons. I don't know what this woman's all about. I don't know. But when they try to affect people or get views or for whatever purpose by putting out dishonest things like this, it takes away from the real problem of addiction, the real problem of people trying to get into recovery, the battles they face every day, the obstacles they face by putting this false fear-mongering nonsense out there. It gets people looking in the wrong direction and blaming the wrong things. I don't know if this woman is one of those people that are blaming immigration for, or one of those people that are saying that cartels do this to get more people to turn into addicts. No, that's not how it works. First of all, that's not how it works. And second of all, there's more addicts, unfortunately, they're being produced, I guess, or are coming forward more and more every day. There's no need for the cartels to go out of their way to make new addicts. If you look down below, there's links here. I've handled these substances, you name it. I'm not going to name the substances here. You name it. I've had it on my hands for over 25 years. And it does not make your hands numb. It does not. It never has. It never did. This is a lie. This is just a flat out lie. It's untruthful. If you look it up, certain substances like cocaine will make the mouth, the nose, I'm not a doctor. I don't know the differences between the flesh and the mouth, the nerve receptors in the mouth versus the hand. But I could tell you this, it does not work that way. It does not. Most of these substances, like fentanyl, are not absorbed easily through the skin. And people are going to bring up patches. And like I said, I'm not a doctor. And I'll have the links down below. If you're that interested in the specifics, the chemistry, the biology of why the patches work and why it's not going to be absorbed in your hand by just simply picking up a piece of paper, you can read the links down below. But I have a problem with this because it takes away from the real battle, the real problem of addiction and how these things get here, but more specifically, the obstacles that addicts face every day. When you're making up fake problems, fake obstacles, like this people putting pieces of paper, it's trying to scare this population of non-users, I guess, for their own purposes or benefits. I don't know why people do this. Maybe it's just for views. But I have a problem with this because it takes away from the truth, from the real battle against drugs and the real battle of addiction and recovery. I'll have all the links down below. I don't have a problem with this woman. I'm sure the rest of the stuff she said were good tips for the. I don't know if people put money on the ground. One last thing. Drug addicts, drug dealers, cartels, nobody just puts drugs out randomly on car door handles or on a piece of paper and just sprinkles it here and there and everywhere. People don't do this. When you're an addict or a dealer, it's money. It's like gold. You don't do this only if there's a specific benefit, if there's a reason for it. It doesn't make any sense. It's nonsensical. And like I said, the actual proof about the skin exposure and all that will be down below from the actual doctors saying this is just nonsense. Stop it. There's enough problems with addiction and recovery already without people trying to use this for their own projects, their own fears, their own reasons, their own dishonest, disingenuous reasons. All right, the links will be down below. Have a good Tuesday.